What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We're finally back with some more drag racing content today. I apologize for the delay in the drag racing videos. I finally got the Tekin RS Pro back from Tekin and was able to get it in the car. You might remember I had to send the original one off back to Tekin after I had some problems with it after first installing it. I'm not sure if it overheated or what happened, but they went through with my warranty claim and sent me a new one, which I now have back in the car. You can see here I also installed a fan that I have soldered directly to the battery post, so that as soon as the battery is connected, it turns on. That should keep the ESC nice and cool even when the car is turned off. A couple other changes we'll go over real quick. Remember, I moved the ESC to the rear so that I could run the batteries long ways in the center of the chassis. I changed up the gearing a little bit. I left the 81 tooth spur in, but I dropped down to a 19 tooth pinion. I want to start kinda conservative to make sure I can get it down the track. The last thing I did was actually a recommendation from a few of you. Some people commented about the ballooning with the new DE racing tires I'm running, and how I can maybe stop that. So I went ahead and printed some of these. These are tire bands. This is a failed print. You can see the outer layer didn't adhere too well, so I ended up printing 2 more. They're printed in Ninja Flex filament, so they are flexible, but they don't stretch, so hopefully it won't let the tire expand much. I took the wheels and tires apart and put these on the inside of the tire. You know what? Let me get another tire. So the way this works is you can take the foam and put it inside of the tire band and then put the whole thing inside of the tire. It's a little bit of a squeeze, but what it does is add a little stiffness to the surface of the tire from what I can tell. It doesn't really let it grow and expand this way as much once the wheel is on. Hopefully that'll work out. These tires are still really fresh. They need a few more burnouts in them to get some wear on them. I'm doing this overview on the bench today because I'm only going out in the driveway in the street in front of my house to make some test hits today. I'm not going out to my normal location, 1, because there's an event there today and I can't use the area I normally use without being in the way. And 2, I need to do some tuning in the ESC, and it'll be easier for me to do that here with the laptop and taking as much time as I need. I think that's about it for the changes to the car. Let's get out there and make some hits. With the sun starting to go down, I cut that a little short, but I was able to get about a pack and a half through the new ESC, and I am really happy with it. The first few passes you saw were just some initial tests. I mean, everything today was just testing and trying to learn this ESC, but those first couple passes were just way too hot. I was launching at around 60% throttle and it was still jumping up on the wheelie bar right away and I had no control. I turned down the torque setting in the ESC, actually all the way to the lowest setting on the RS Pro before it was launching okay. I started messing with the throttle curves instead because I didn't want to limit the torque that much. So I was able to set the torque back to around halfway after changing the throttle curves, and I was getting some more consistent launches. You might have seen a few of those passes. The car would launch relatively soft, and then a second later it would go straight into a wheelie, and I actually rolled it a few times. That's because of the Graupner radio. Like I mentioned before, it's kind of like a 2-speed where I set a throttle position and it holds that throttle position for a set amount of time and then ramps into 100%. So most of the passes I was making today, I was launching anywhere from 60 to 65% and it would ramp to 100 after 1 second. That definitely isn't ideal, and there's a few other things I could have tried, but I was focused on getting the car to go straight and learning what different things in this ESC can do. I'd still like it to launch a little harder so that ramping is a little smoother, but we'll get there. The street out in front of my house is definitely not the best surface. It's old concrete that's been worn down over the years. You can see a lot of the little pebbles and rocks on the surface, so it's just not as consistent and smooth as it should be. I think when I can get back to my normal spot, I'll be able to get some better hits in. I did run into 1 or 2 problems. The first one happened about midway through the first pack when I shattered the shock tower extension. I was disappointed at first because I thought that was going to be the end of it for me today, but I ended up finding an extra one that I had printed up already, so it was easy to swap that out and we're ready to go again. I lowered the wheelie bar a little because I didn't like how high the front end was in the air. I really want to go back and look at that slow motion footage to see exactly when the front end was lifting and how hard it was hitting the wheelie bar. The other problem I noticed, which I'm not sure if you'll be able to see. Oh, yeah, you should be able to see that. The wheel nuts were starting to come loose pretty often. I never really had that problem with the old wheels, so I'm not sure if these aren't that balanced and the vibrations are causing it to come loose, or maybe the wheel nuts are just old and need to be replaced. I didn't really like that, so it's definitely something I need to get fixed. I was having to tighten them every 3 or 4 passes. On to the good stuff though, the ESC is really powerful. I'm really happy with it, and I think this fan was a good idea. It's a little cooler today. I think it's about 75 degrees outside, and it's also pretty breezy, which could be why I had some trouble controlling the car down track sometimes. But I think the hottest temperature I saw in the data logs was like 160 or something. I could be wrong because I didn't check the data logs on those last few passes yet, but that's still pretty low for the power this ESC puts out. If I can keep it cool like that all the time, I'll be really happy. The other thing I was really happy with was these tires. I'm not sure how well you can see this, but the wear patch is in the center of the tire and it's pretty wide. I don't have another tire to compare it to right now, but I'm really liking how flat and sticky this contact patch seems. So these tires, especially with the tire bands, seem to be a good fit for me. I didn't really see any ballooning out of them. Like I said, overall, I'm really happy so far. I think that's about it for today. I really wanted to get out with the timing system to see if I could improve on any of my personal bests. But like I said, I didn't want to be in anyone's way, and it was just better for me to take my time and figure things out here at home. I think I'm about ready now to see what sort of times the car will run next time. But until then, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like. I'm ready to ramp up again on the drag racing videos. I'm not done with the micro monster truck videos just yet. That's my 2 major projects right now, drag racing and that little truck. But I hope everyone's enjoying the videos recently. I'm having fun creating and making the content I really enjoy. So thank you so much for all the support. If you aren't subscribed yet, make sure you do. YouTube tells me a bunch of you are watching these videos that haven't subscribed yet. So click on that subscribe button and hit the notifications bell to be notified when I upload new videos. As always, thanks again for watching. Peace.